Alright, you guys, if you've seen Ronnie doing anything, he's been working on this. This is Tabletop Simulator game that he has put together, and it's absolutely ridiculous how crazy much he has done in this. It's absolutely insane. It's been a bit since I've actually seen it. And by the way, give him a shout out because I tell you this, he puts together the list for everything. He manages the Request for Reactions channel, like all those channels he manages. And it's one, like, legitimately, I don't know how he keeps track of all that kind of stuff because my brain starts to melt if I have to add 2 plus 2. But that's how it goes. Now, he put together his game, and it's 40k Conquest. He even put the Avathon system in there from the Commissar story, which hopefully will be coming out soon. We'll see what happens if I have all of the voice lines I need by Thursday. But this is the general rules. He has rules for each faction and things that you can play from each faction. So we're going to check this out. So go give him a look if you want. I'm going to be putting his links in the description down below. Go give his channel a look, especially if you want to play this. He has an absurdly old computer by his own admission. So when he does something like this, his computer starts screaming for absolute mercy. Let's get into it. Let's learn some stuff.
Everybody, welcome to 40k Conquest. My name is Ronnie. Last time was my intro, and it was all over the place. I'll be honest, I was nervous, and I kind of rambled through getting some of the info out. But I forgot some important things, like explaining that when the battles are initiated, that you would actually be playing a game of 9th edition 40k, which I completely forgot.
That would be something to put in.
Yeah, there's that. The other thing I'd like to do before I get started is to thank Old Man Reacts. Alright, he reacted to my intro, and it got a lot of people interested in watching, and I'd like to thank him for that.
Dude, you do a lot for me, so I don't want to hear it. You do a lot.
So, thanks, Old Man. I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description. Go give him a watch and a visit. Other than that, let's get started on today when I explain the general rules and how this will all really work.
Alright, let's go.
Alright. First things first is, as you can see here, I've got a list of planets, of all the planets on here. Now, when we go through this, there are 3 types of turns. First is the Galactic turn, which is where we go through each and every planet, give their resources to their factions, what they're doing, how they're doing it, any conflicts that are happening on it, so on and so forth. For an example, as another thank you to the Old Man, if you've watched his Commissar videos, you're going to recognize the name that's coming up here. Avathon 4.
There it is.
Now, on the Galactic turn, let's say it's Avathon 4's turn, because this will be randomized. This will be randomized, by the way.
And one thing I've actually done, considering he told me how many cities were going to be on here, I've actually done something in the Commissar store to kind of reflect that. It's not going to be much, but it is going to be reflective of that.
Each and every Galactic turn. But for now, let's go with Avathon 4 here. Alright, it's an agri-world. Alright, it gives back to the Imperium for its tithe. Let's say it's an for the Imperium for now. I'll explain Imperial rules in a future video, by the way. As well other factions as well, because they all have different styles of warfare. But first, let's go with Avathon 4 here. Alright, as you can see, Avathon 4 is an agri-world. It gives 60 food, 2 metal to the Imperium. But for it to give out its Imperial Guard, it requires 6 product. Food, metals, and product are the resources of the game for the factions that require resource management, like the Imperium. It's how you can say, oh, the Imperium isn't just going to bum rush the town and wipe them out.
Right.
Like all things, they need to see, how much do I have, how much can I afford, how much can I send out. They have to manage that. But let's say they're willing to pay the 6 product to have the 2,000 points of guard. Now, this isn't blanket just a 2,000 point regiment. The Imperium can ask for anything from 4 scout regiments of 500 points, 2 assault regiments of 1,000 points, a single auxiliary regiment of 1,500 points alongside a scout regiment, or just a heavy regiment of 2,000 points. These regiments will use battle.
And you can see over here on the his Word document right here that he has for this, each one of the systems has different amounts of each kind of product. Like the Avathon Primaris is in the system has negative 670 food and negative 670 minerals, but it has plus 1340 product, and you can muster over 500,000 IG there. That's pretty nice.
Battle scribe, and they'll be sent out to the planets that are required for them. Now, when you have a planet with a problem, it's going to be added to the list for the Imperium players. All other factions will have their own things, but the Imperial list, and then I'll explain this more in the Imperial one because it's not really relevant to the general rules right now. But as I said, they'll be sent out on this map, depending on how long it takes them to get there and if they don't get waylaid by anything. But let's say there's a problem with a planet that's under conflict. Let's go to another old man's favorite, and a favorite of a lot of people. My computer will stop being slow.
Yeah.
Armageddon.
Yep.
Now, this is what happens when a planet has a problem. We have the map. Now, the map will be on something the size of my board up here, not this small one.
Mm-hmm.
This is just an example to give. Alright? Then the regiments will be sent down for both factions, and they're going to be fighting there. Now, points will be inconsistent, so if you're thinking of going in there and it's going to be 1,000 versus 1,000 for the whole planet, you're wrong. It is literally a map of war. Now,
this is a lot.
Here's the thing that most people need to understand is that each and every regiment will be a certain size. The more points you have to that regiment, the slower it will go. The less points, the faster. A scout regiment's very quick. Not to mention they have the guerrilla warfare modifier. That way, if you go against, say, if you send 500 points against War Boss Udgruk here, yeah, they're doomed. But, here's the thing. Every time you kill a model, that model is gone. That unit is gone. If they cannot make a saving throw at the end, or if their vehicle that exploded, they're gone. They're dead. They don't get that back. Say for certain faction rules. You could literally grind down your opponent by throwing waves and waves of men at them. Another thing is the speed. Like, your 10,000 points here are never going to catch a thing of 500 points.
Right,
it's not
that makes
happen.
sense.
You've got a large army trying to catch up to a smaller force. You tell me who's going to outrun the other. Now, for one thing that the 500 points have is that the scout regiments have what's known as the guerrilla warfare modifier. This lets them stop the fighting at the third turn. They don't have to go through all 5 turns. So on the third turn, they can say, okay, we dealt as much damage as we can, let's retreat. The enemy, if the opposing force has the second turn, I guess, on the third turn, you know what I'm talking about, I hope. Then they can shoot one last time at them, but that's about it. Then they escape dealing whatever damage they did. You could literally whittle them down. More ways of understanding how that'll work for certain factions I'll tell in their videos, but that's the gist of it. You're moving across the map. Certain terrains will slow or hinder or speed up depending on what they do. So you will literally be playing a game of war utilizing these models. Then of course you have the battle, the actual 9th edition battles that happen. Which is...
Now the thing about this is, it would be supremely fun, because not everybody can play the Imperium. I'd love to see how this works out Like, oh,
One thing that is, my channel will have those battle reports. Everyone has to send them in on a video.
nice. So
One
multiple
thing I
people can
will
play
say
through
though
this.
is, you do not need, but I highly recommend you use Tabletop Simulator. You don't need it. You could do this with any camera or whatever at your local shop if you want to. I recommend Tabletop Simulator simply because it'll be easier to have the exact unit that's
Right.
made from the Battle Scribe rather than just using your own home models. But either way is fine as long as you keep to the point value. And as I said, they'll be moving them around on a very much larger map than this. And those will decide the battles for the planet. Typical to 40k, you only win the planet when the enemy is completely routed or destroyed. There's not going to be any, oh, he sent 500 and I sent a 10,000 army, I win the planet. It's actual strategy of warfare here.
Yeah. So if it's a 500, you probably have to just hem them in, pin them in, and then eradicate them. Which would get. You could make that very
Another thing
annoying.
to understand is that. Where's I going with this? Like I said, each faction will have their own styles of warfare. Not all of them are resource management. Orcs can care less. The Necrons could care even less than the orcs.
This is true.
Chaos never bothered to give a fuck. And it'll be the same for all the factions.
But for the Imperium, it's got to be logistics. Eldar is probably more intensive in logistics.
As I said, I want to thank Old Man.
Drukari is probably massively intensive in slaves, as far as that logistical nightmare goes.
Reacting to it. Go give his channels a view. He does great lore videos, like 5-minute lores, his mistakes of the Emperor. And sign up to my channel.
Mm-hmm.
Give my videos a like. Give them a comment. If you have any questions, ask. If I'm going to answer the questions in a future video, I'll let you know. But if not, I'll answer in the comments. If I forget in a future video, remind me. I have the brain of an ADHD squirrel. If you didn't notice by my last video. But, like I said, and the things I do need help with, this map, I can finish this on my own. It might take me a year. I might get done next year. But I can finish this map on my own. What I need help with is I need people who can list, not only people who can make the maps, but also people who can list the chapters of Space Marines, the war bands from the traders, the named demons, the craft worlds,
And that's
things
a lot.
like that. I need people who can go into the lore, to the wikis, to the lexicon, or whatever, and look these things up, because a lot of them aren't going to be on this map. I need, like, how am I supposed to put the fleet-based chapter of...
Yeah, if you guys look at this, this is excessively detailed, okay? This is unrelentingly detailed.
like, the Lamentors, if they have no homeworld that I could find on this map. Like, I'm lucky that they have the freaking Black Templars here.
Mm-hmm.
But other planets, no. Like, I'd have to start looking them up, and I'm wanting to focus on the map for now. But if you have people who are willing and can do that, come on to my Discord. Like I said, everyone is welcome on my Discord. Just come on to talk and have fun. Hell, just to plan your own little matches if you want while you're waiting for this to come out. Like I said, I'm hoping this will be fun for everyone when we start it up. I'm hoping people enjoy it. And like I said, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Like, subscribe, go visit the old man's channel and give his content a try.
You're obviously already doing that if you're watching this.
But I hope to see you all soon. This has been Ronnie with 40k Conquest. And I'm gonna click off
There we go.
here.
Alright, so as you guys can see, this map is very detailed. Now, I have never used Tabletop Simulator. I'm trying to make more free time for myself where I can actually do that, but we'll see if I'm ever able to do that. But you can see this map is very, very detailed. He has put a lot of work into this. You can even look over to the side at the planets listing, and you can see how many planets that he has, and he's not even through the A's yet, okay? That is a lot of work. That is a lot of stuff. So definitely go check this out. I can't wait to see it when he actually finishes everything he wants to do with this and considers it a full working model. In any case, I'm going to be putting the link to this video in the description down below. He has a whole game arc system for this. I remember when he first started talking about this, and then I saw what he was doing with it, and I was like, whoa. But definitely go and check out his channel. See the updates that he's put on there, because I know he's put a great amount of updates up there. In any case, that's all I've got for today, guys. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Go check out everything about this, because it's a ridiculous amount of detail, guys. It's a ridiculous amount of details. I want to see the Drakari rules. That's what I want to see next. In any case, that's it. I'll catch you guys next time. And I'm going to click a button.